On August 2nd, 2027, the sky over North Africa will do something it has not done in over 100 years. It will go completely dark, in the middle of the day, not for a few seconds, not for a minute. For 6 minutes and 23 seconds, the moon will cover the sun so completely, so perfectly, that stars will become visible in the daytime sky. Temperatures will drop. Animals will behave as though night has fallen. And nearly 89 million people positioned along the path of totality will witness something that will not happen again until the year 2114. On August 2nd, 2027, a total solar eclipse will sweep from Spain to the Arabian Peninsula, making it the longest of the 21st century. This is not just another eclipse. This is a once-in-a-lifetime celestial event. And in this video, we are going to tell you exactly what it is, why it is happening, what you will experience if you are in its path, and where on Earth you need to be to see it. Most people have seen a partial solar eclipse. The moon drifts across part of the sun. The sky dims slightly. You hold up a piece of paper with a pinhole and see a crescent shadow. It is interesting, but it is not what we are talking about. A total solar eclipse is something else entirely. It is one of the most profound experiences a human being can have standing on the surface of this planet. And the difference between a partial eclipse and a total one is not a matter of degree. It is a completely different event. During totality, the few minutes when the moon covers the sun completely, the sky darkens to a deep twilight blue. The brightest stars and planets become visible. The temperature drops sharply. Birds stop singing and return to their roosts. The horizon glows in all directions with the colors of a 360-degree sunset, because you are standing inside the moon's shadow while the rest of the world around you is still in daylight. And directly where the sun was, there is now a black circle surrounded by a pale shimmering halo of light streaming outward in delicate arcs and streamers. That is the sun's corona, its outer atmosphere, normally invisible because the sun's surface is too bright. During totality, it becomes visible to the naked eye. Scientists use total eclipses specifically to study it because there is no other way to see it clearly from Earth. Not all eclipses are created equal. Some last only for a moment while others linger. The April 2024 eclipse that crossed North America lasted 4 minutes and 28 seconds, and people who witnessed it described it as one of the most overwhelming experiences of their lives. By contrast, a total solar eclipse in August 2026 will last just 1 minute and 43 seconds. The 2027 eclipse lasts 6 minutes and 23 seconds. That is nearly 40% longer than the 2024 eclipse that stopped traffic across North America, and it will not be matched in duration until the year 2114. To understand why the 2027 eclipse is so unusually long, you need to understand the geometry that makes any total solar eclipse possible at all. Here is something extraordinary about our solar system that most people have never considered. The sun is approximately 400 times wider than the moon, and the sun is approximately 400 times further away from Earth than the moon is. These two facts, completely unrelated to each other, mean that from Earth's surface, the sun and the moon appear almost exactly the same size in the sky. The odds of this coincidence existing on a planet with observers capable of noticing it are genuinely staggering. No other planet in the solar system experiences total solar eclipses the way Earth does. But the moon's orbit is not a perfect circle. It is elliptical, meaning the moon is sometimes closer to Earth and sometimes further away. When the moon is at its closest point, called perigee, it appears slightly larger in the sky than usual, large enough to cover the sun more completely and for longer. On August 2nd, 2027, the moon will be near perigee. It will appear at its largest, combined with the sun being nearly directly overhead in North Africa, which means the moon's shadow hits Earth's surface at the most direct possible angle rather than at a glancing blow. The result is the longest totality of the entire 21st century. The last time land-based observers experienced totality this long was 1991. NASA's data places the next comparable opportunity in 2114. The 2027 eclipse sits at a rare intersection of celestial timing and geographic reach that simply does not come around often. The eclipse will begin in Morocco and southern Spain. It will then advance through Algeria, Tunisia, Libya, Egypt, and Saudi Arabia, culminating in Yemen and the coast of Somalia. The path of totality, The narrow band where the full eclipse is visible is roughly 200 kilometers wide. Step outside that band by even a few kilometers and you see a partial eclipse. Dramatic, but not totality. Not the corona. Not the stars in the daytime sky. Not the experience that makes people weep and travel to the ends of the earth. Maximum duration will be recorded in Egypt, specifically in Luxor and Aswan, famous for their ancient temples and monuments. Think about what that means. The longest solar eclipse of the century will reach its peak directly over one of the most ancient and historically significant sites on Earth. The same temples that Egyptian pharaohs built to honor the sun god Ra will stand in complete darkness at midday for over 6 minutes. Meteorologists highlight eastern Libya and western Egypt as having virtually no cloud risk in August. The dry desert climate creates optimal viewing conditions, making Egypt the single best location on the planet to witness this event. Areas near the Straits of Gibraltar face up to 30% cloud cover, making weather a significant risk for viewers in Spain and Morocco. The eclipse will not be visible in North America as a total eclipse. A partial eclipse may be visible in the northernmost parts of the United States, but totality will not cross the American continent. If you want the full experience, you need to travel. The eclipse does not simply switch the sky off. It builds. In the hour before totality, the moon begins creeping across the sun's face. The light shifts, becoming strangely flat and colorless as the sun turns into a crescent. Shadows sharpen in unusual ways. Animals begin to behave oddly. There is an uncanny wrongness to the light that is difficult to describe and impossible to ignore. Then in the final moments before totality, something called the diamond ring effect appears. The last sliver of sunlight blazes through a valley on the moon's surface, creating a single brilliant point of light on the edge of a dark circle surrounded by the corona. 1 second later, it is gone. The corona spreads across the sky. Stars appear. The horizon glows in all directions. The temperature drops several degrees in minutes. And for 6 minutes and 23 seconds, you are standing in the shadow of the moon. People who have witnessed totality consistently describe it as one of the most overwhelming experiences of their lives. Grown adults weep. Crowds go completely silent and then erupt. Experienced astronomers who have seen dozens of eclipses say the feeling never diminishes. There is a reason eclipse chasers travel to the ends of the earth to stand in the path of totality. And on August 2nd, 2027, that path runs directly over some of the most accessible and historically magnificent locations on the planet. Scientists say a similar event will not occur again until the year 2114. Think about that number. Everyone watching this video right now will be gone. The children being born today will be in their late 80s. The world in 2114 will be as different from today as today is from the early 1900s. This eclipse is happening once in your lifetime. On August 2nd, 2027, over the deserts of North Africa and the ancient temples of Egypt. Total solar eclipses have been recorded by humans for thousands of years. Ancient civilizations built entire religious systems around them. They stopped wars. They changed the course of history. Greek historian Herodotus recorded that a solar eclipse ended a 5-year war between the Lydians and the Medes in 585 BC. Both armies so shaken by the sudden darkness that they laid down their weapons and made peace. There is something about standing in the moon's shadow that reaches past science and past rationality and touches something older in the human mind. On August 2nd, 2027, nearly 89 million people will have the chance to feel exactly that. The question is whether you will be one of them. You have just over a year to decide.